everybody. All right. Hey, guys. Are we getting... There we go. I think it might have been doubling the sound. Sorry about that. Oopsie poopsie, everybody. I thought... I was like, yeah, I've still got 20 more minutes before the stream is supposed to start. I just... We can hear you? It's working? All right. Yep. Really sorry about that, guys. I thought I said the stream was starting at 7:30 and not 7 o'clock. So I'm still getting set up just a little bit. I thought I was ahead of schedule, but I'm behind schedule. All right. So we're almost at 300,000, if you can believe it. I've got some cool new stuff to show y'all too. So cool new stuff to show you guys. Oh, you see my stab shirt? All right. We're getting things situated still. Got to move all of the different windows around. Does it still work? If it's shrunk, I don't know if it works if it's shrunk down. Okay, just moving all the windows around, getting everything started. Apologies again. Whoopsie indeed. All right, cool. Let's open it up. Wow. All right, guys, we're at 299,623 right now. That's amazing. With only 27 days to go. Awesome. So let me get the chat going. Properties, update. There we go. Now we can see you guys. And Edward, I did adjust it so that it's not overlaying anymore. Malaysia, yep. Cool. Yeah. Sorry, things are expensive. I don't know if it's a. I don't know if it's a currency conversion issue or anything. Shipping shouldn't be too bad, but yeah, I understand. Get what you want. Can you get to million? It's within the realm of possibility, but I'm definitely not expecting that. Where we are already is like super amazing, like way more than I could ask for already. It'd be cool, but also projects of that size get like a little bit more attention, both good and bad. So, so yeah, more of the currency. Okay, yeah, so close to 300 guys. Okay. So I was gonna do something. Still just trying to get everything set up. So yeah, I know I'm not expecting to get to 1 million. But if we do, I'm sure we could come up with some cool. I'm sure we could come up with some cool stretch goals if we can get that far. But that is definitely not the expectation, you guys. All right, so I'm pulling up the Revenant stuff. Hit that like button, everybody. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Chud. Good to see you, sir. Am I going to be at Gen Con this year? I don't know when Gen Con is or where it is, or I'm definitely not displaying or anything anywhere this year, but I was thinking of going to possibly Gamma. I think that's next month in Kentucky. I heard about that one. That's more like a manufacturer thing, and that's sort of like where I'm looking right now. I think we hit 1 million in certain currencies. So if you like pesos or yen or other things. All right, so let's get the Revenant going. I'm trying to pull it up here, you guys. I've got like 100. No, it is 66 pages of notes for just various things. If I have a cool idea, I will just write it down, and then I end up with, you know, dozens and dozens of pages of cool notes or notes, and they're determined to be determined if they're cool or not. So just pay on that. All right, almost there, you guys. I'm just trying to get these notes together in a way that you guys can read them and see them. And we'll walk through some thoughts, and we'll do some live design. We'll do some Q&A. We can even, if we hit 300,000 on the stream, then I'll go ahead and show you some ideas that I had for the next stretch goal for 350, which I'm pretty confident we can hit. So, not to count the chickens before they hatch, of course, but I'm pretty confident we can hit the next stretch goal, 350. And then yeah, we'll sort of talk about what's coming up next. Okay, so the Revenant. I shouldn't say that because I'm not quite ready yet. I'm getting there though. All right, so yeah, I'll just let me just show you what you guys I'm working on. Okay. Any plans similar to The Witcher? I've never really played Witcher. I don't know anything about it. If you tell me like some of the touchstones or some of the cool vibes it has, then we could definitely do that. How do I feel about the poll results? It was really good information directionally, so that I could see what people are interested in or not. I'm kind of relieved that I don't have to do a plushie. Like, if everybody was like, yeah, plushie, that'd be amazing, I'm like, okay, it would be cool, but it would be a lot of extra work and back and forth. From what I understand, like, there's back and forth with the factory, you know, different versions and all that sort of stuff. So it would have been really cool, but like, not too many people were interested in that. So I was like, okay. Gen Con's in Indianapolis. Will I ever show the poll result? I can. I don't know that it would be too helpful for you guys. It's more directionally helpful for me to see that, like, people love monsters and people love boss monsters and people like sort of reinforcing some of the things that I sort of already suspected. But it's good to get confirmation and additional stuff on that. Okay, so let's take a look at the new heroes. Okay, I'm gonna copy this, and let's just hide this one. Let's hide that one. We will grab this, copy, and paste it there. Yeah, so we have some vibes to work with. Sorry again for keeping you guys waiting. I hate being late to things. I prefer to be early. You can easily make a hunter subclass for Witcher. I mean, it sounds cool. I don't know what all the kind of vibes they have. Like, maybe one of the hunter subclasses already fits the Witcher. Maybe there's Keeper of the Pack. That's sort of like a forward charging, more melee kind of thing. Less bowy, more stabby. Monster Hunter. Yep, totally get it. Incredible piece of art. Yeah, this was by Justine. I always forget her name. I always want to say Justine, but I don't think it's Justine. Yeah, Justine Florentino. Fantastic Filipina artist. Fantastic Filipino artist. Justine Florentino, if you guys want to look her up. Florentino. Okay, so as I was putting this one together, as I was putting together the mock-ups and the for the stretch goals, and I just like something just like came to my mind, like this line: "I've lived a hard life, I've lived an even harder death," and that just like boom. boom, that struck with me. I was like, oh man, that is the vibes. So so I really like that. That one just sort of came to me. um, yeah, I definitely can't. Yeah, I definitely won't share that. I think all the email addresses. So the email addresses were not actually shared with me. So it's fine. It was just so that people could just vote once and not like a bunch of times. Okay, so I've been talking with an internal team of volunteers. Some of them, I say that some of my buds, Matt and Ross from Discord. So some of these notes are not my own, but like places for inspiration. Okay, so how do we make? And that I think Ross recommended Guild Wars 2. I've never played it, but he recommended Guild Wars 2. So that's a link. I haven't read it yet. I'm gonna look at it later. Let's zoom in a little bit for you guys. Okay, so what I do. So let's actually back up a little bit. How to design a new class. Okay, how to design a new class. Fantasy first. Okay, so what is the fantasy that we want to hit? Why is this cool? And then it's good to have some touchstones. So, for instance, the touchstone for the Artificer was Iron Man, and I've never really played League of Legends, but people said Jinx and like other like Tinkerers and that kind of thing. So it's important to have that kind of thing. When we were were designing the Oathbreaker subclass, one of the touchstones was Darth Vader, and like some of these other guys. So it's important to have like, ooh, what kind of vibes are we going for, so that we know, so that we have like a direction we want to go. Okay, that is some of the touchstones, and maybe like Luke Skywalker would have been like an artificer, right? Because he's always tinkering on things and doing stuff. But then not Luke Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker, because he built like the robots. Right on. Okay, cool. You like that quote, Natalie? Good to see you. Death Knight from WoW. Revenant. So I played World of Warcraft a ton. But like once like the Death Knight stuff started coming out, that's when I stopped playing as much. I was a druid main, druid and warrior. Warrior. I was tank. I was really good tank initially in like vanilla WoW. Okay, so what was the cool thing? So fantasy first. Why is this cool? Touchstones. Like in popular fantasy, or like it might be mechanic. So each, so where did like the Artificer and Scion come from? Like, you know, there's touchstones and like there's fantasies of those classes, but when I was looking at the different the different key stats for each class, we have, you know, strength and dex for the berserker. Then we have dex and strength for the zephyr. We have int and will for the mage, and will and int for the songweaver. So we have like these stats, like each of the combinations of the 4 different stats makes a different class. So was there? So there wasn't something for int and strength. So strength and int is the commander, and then int and strength is the artificer. You need to be strong in order to carry all these inventions that you make, but you need to be smart first to make them. Okay, commander has to be strong to be able to like wear the armor and use the sword and do all these things, but they have to be smart and like tactically smart. So it's like a good warrior, a good soldier who went to battle academy. The artificer is like a smart inventor who like has to be strong enough to carry these things. So which key stat is first or second like matters. So that kind of thing. Okay, so that's where the artificer comes from. So that's how I was able to flavor all the different classes. Each class has its own, and actually, I think I could pull up the file. Let me see if I can pull up the file real quick and just to show you. This was from the presentation long ago. when we went from 5 to 4 stats. The great culling. Um, let me show you here, guys. Here, okay. Let's make this a little bit bigger. Okay, so strength and dex is berserker. Strength and int is commander. Strength and will is oathsworn. So like they're all strength first. Their primary method of damage is attacking physically. Okay, then we have the dex guys. Dex int is the cheat or the rogue. Dex and will is the hunter. Dex and strength is a zephyr. Okay, so melee, sneaky, smart, right? Ranged, wise, worldly, like survivalistic, right? And then we have like the fast, strong one. Okay, now we have the int based classes: int and will, mage. Int and dex, the shadowmancer. So this is where we get like they're stealing. So the idea of pilfered power, like you're stealing from your patron, it came from this. Just thinking through mechanically the differences of all these different classes. And then we have int and strength. There was the artificer. This was before artificer was a thing. And then will and strength for the shepherd. So they have a weapon and they have a shield. So they have heavier armor. Will and dex, storm shifter, and then will and int, songweaver. Okay, so that's where this comes from. So that's one good way to think about it, to come at this. Okay. So for this, for the Revenant, it wasn't that. The Revenant, it was actually let's go back to our class list. Okay, so the mechanics for a lot of these was were mechanics first. Also, remember? Yeah, the good old days. Hey, good to see you, Ty. Okay, so the Berserker, the fantasy was angry dude who can, like, the angrier he gets, the more damage he does, the more damage he can absorb, like that kind of thing. So we have the Fury dice. It's this pool of things that he gets angrier and angrier and angrier. Okay, and he can use those energy, just like he can build up to like crazy amounts of damage that he can deal, or he can be like crazy survivable if he sacrifices some of his damage. The commander, so I'm not going to go through all of them, but each of these has like a mechanic. The cheat, the mechanic it focuses on is critical hits. Okay, the mechanic the Zephyr focuses on is movement and speed. Mechanic mage focuses on is like spells and twisting the spells. So each one sort of has a core mechanic. The Oathsworn is interposing. So there's a core like thing in the rules that each of these sort of orbits around. The core mechanic for this is death. So what if there was a class that did cool things with death? So we already have the Berserker who can just survive more wounds. So like they can stave off death for longer. We have the Zephyr who can ignore wounds every once in a while. So like they're just like physically like more resilient, right? Or like they're so fast they could just move out of the way of like some wound and it just doesn't affect them. But the Revenant, what if death was not like the thing to be avoided? It was sort of like the inevitability thing. It was inevitable. Okay. I thought that was a really, really cool idea. And then also the name of the class, I don't know, I don't remember where it came from, but I heard the word Revenant and I was like, oh, that is like, so sometimes you'll just like hear a cool thing, you're like, that'd be a cool name for a heavy metal band or something like that. Like I heard the name Revenant and I was like, that has to be a class. And then immediately it was like, oh, this is gonna be a class. Like, and like the pieces just sort of start falling together. And like the fantasy, he's really good at dying. He's able to use, or she is able to use death as a tool rather than something to be afraid of. So that's what it is. Okay. What other ways can this be distinguished? So the more ways this class can be distinguished from that class, the better it will feel and the more unique it will feel. So if say the fighter and the barbarian are both strong dumb guys with big weapons, they're gonna feel kind of samey. right? But if one is a strong, dumb guy and the other was a smart, strong guy, okay, now we have our own lane. And this one is about just blindly dealing a bunch of damage and being angry. And this one is being intelligent and tactical and party focused. Like, okay, now these two strong melee classes start to feel they diverge. The berserker has a D12, the commander has a D10. The berserker doesn't really wear armor. The commander has armor and shields. So like these two classes that could feel very similar, they start to diverge. You should use some leader. I don't know. I don't know anything about the movie, except like he gets attacked by a bear, I think. Um, so these classes that might be similar, they start to diverge. Okay. So the classes currently use the D12 for the hit die. They use the D10, commander, and one or two of these others. Many of them use the D8, and a couple, the cheat and the mage, and I think just those two maybe, use the D6 as their hit die. But the Revenant, one of the first things that I decided was the Revenant is going to use the D4 for its hit die, which is just, again, another mechanically cool thing. Hey, Kidrissa. All right, yeah, we're talking about it. So this is how I'm thinking it. We need to make sure that each class is distinct. We don't want like the similarities are the similarities in each class are what we see in the core rules. Okay, they all can attack, they all can move, all can interpose. They can all do those things. But the differences, the things that you find in the hero's book, should all be differences. Okay, there's some overlap. Like the mage and the shepherd can cast well, not the mage and shepherd, they can't cast any of the same spells. The shepherd and the shadowmancer, they can cast some of the same spells, but very differently for very different reasons, and they each have their own unique spells. So like where there are overlapping segments of that Venn diagram, that's okay, but we want to sort of minimize them. So how could height die? So how can we distinguish this class from every other class? Why should I play this instead of a commander? Is what we want to answer. Okay, what is the fantasy that we want to come across? Oh, you're lucky, lucky. Using wounds as spinners, I've been cooking homebrew. Okay, cool. All right, so let's see. Let's see what ideas we have. Okay, so we have some inspiration. I'll be looking at that later. Maybe we'll look at that tonight. But the name is where this came from, and mechanics. So that's where, like, I don't really know any like Revenant type of classes in popular fantasy. Maybe there are. If you guys have any ideas. I guess someone said like the WoW Death Knight. But like it's not that's not really, I don't know if that really counts. All right, hey Ross, that's all right, man. Thanks for hanging out. Okay, so if you guys have any ideas for like touchstones like in popular media, great. We'll add those. Oh, did we? Did we? Refresh? We did it! Thank you guys. We did it! Unlocked! Dice! And actually, before the stream, what I was doing before the stream, so I've got I've got a bunch of dice. I was taking pictures of them and taking measurements and saying, yeah, I like this measurement, and I'll make this one a little bit bigger. And like I was about to send all the dice specifications to the manufacturer to get that cooking. All right, yeah, you guys. So we unlocked. So this is something I'm actually super excited about. And to be honest, dice was not at the top of the poll, but I want some dice. Like I want some cool dice, and I think we can make them affordably enough. So last time they were made by like a small mom and pop shop. I think we can make them affordable enough to where like to where we can have like a bunch of them. So that's the goal. I'll let you guys know I have not, Kidrissa, I have not designed this class yet. I'm working on like where I have a base idea, like some cool ideas, and it was sort of like this is a true stretch goal. Um, this is a true stretch goal. So if you know on a scale of like 1 to 100% being done, this is maybe like 5%. So like I have the seeds of an